Paul. Yes. hmm You know, I noticed when I picked up my cell phone this morning that I got an email, and it was on July 6th. Quite often when I email those in law enforcement, the use of fraud, forgery, and felony to obstruct myself from filling out I-9s and W-9s is a felony and treason. Now, you wouldn't think that these government forms that they wouldn't have to protect your right to fill them out. Yes, but they actually do. And it seems like it's not that good of a lawsuit. Poop. But the W-9s, they're from the Internal Revenue Service and the United States Treasury. Yes. hmm And the I-9s are from Homeland Security. hmm Or at least it says that on, it might be from somebody else. I'm not quite sure. But these are federal forms that anytime you knowingly allow for the obstruction of a person to fill out federal forms, it's probably a felony. Pell. Now, I would have thought last night somebody would have contacted me and they would have said, well, here's custody of your sons, and Marilyn wants to talk to you and she wants to know where you want to live. But for some reason, nobody really feels like the government has an obligation to protect your right to fill out government forms. They're federal forms. Yeah. A little different than the state forms that we fill out or the city forms or county forms. Approach. Now, just looking through this email, I put quite a few videos on there. hmm And then I included the W-9 is the one that the financial institutions have to enforce. Yeah. And the financial institution fraud seemed very, very bad yesterday or the day before. Yeah. But nobody thinks that the United States Treasury couldn't be liable for the obstruction of the use of U.S. Treasury forms. I mentioned that I like suing the employees of the United States Treasury. Ouch. Are you working in the Treasury today? You know, yes, the Child Protection Services cannot miss prison felonies. Now, I received this email 5 days ago. Oh, and I emailed quite a few in different law firms. Yes. And I would have thought these attorneys that had the sworn attorney oath, yeah, that said that they do have to support the laws of the United States and they have to support their individual state constitutions, as well as the United States Constitution. Anytime you knowingly obstruct a person from being able to fill out any federal form, yes, it's got to be a felony. I just don't know what they call it. Ouch! Now, these attorneys that have been emailing in the various law firms that happen to be in the chambers, hmm they said they have no liability. Now, see, I email local law enforcement and then my public defender in Jefferson County, and then there's this friend that I have. Yes, A. Ramberg. Yeah, went to high school with her, and the other individuals, an employee of the same law firm. She could be a secretary or somebody that works with the law firm. Yeah. Then there's Sheriff Bill Benedict, Chief of Police Brian Smith, Chief of Police Sheree Crane. Yeah. Every night I keep emailing them about these various crimes, and they keep depriving me of the right to the enforcement of the laws. Yes. Then there's Deputy Chief of Police Jason Viata, Port Angeles Fire Department. I don't know how many emails they've gotten, but it seems like they've gotten a lot of them. Then there's the City Council, P. Downey. Yeah. Was in the City Council. Lee Wetham. Yeah. They might not be receiving them anymore because I don't know if they're still on the City Council, but I've noticed that some of them are no longer going to the email addresses that I was emailing. Yeah. Then there's Officer Balderson, Officer Durand. Yes. Officer Rick Larson, the one that did the interview where he said I was in Sequim, Washington when I wasn't. Yeah. Then there's Superior Court Judge Brian Kogenhauer. Yes. I email him because I'm not on trial in the Superior Court. Yes. I would think any Superior Court judge that has any knowledge of the fraud and forgery right now, I would think that he's liable. Sue him for everything he has. Mark Ozias, I think he's like in the state legislature. And Zabronsky, he's a police officer. Yes. And then the city clerk, the finance, and then all these email addresses are my email addresses. pbudnick777 at Yahoo. Yes. 777 at Hotmail. Yeah. I haven't used that email that often because oftentimes it's obstructed. Then there's the pbudnick14 at Yahoo. Yeah. pbudnick1 at Outlook. pbudnick2 at Outlook. p_budnick at Hotmail. Yes. pbudnick1 at mail.com. And then there's a pbudnick424 414 225 226 21 220 444 777 7777. And then the barefoot hacker at zoho.com. Yes. The 417, the 77777, and then the 777777. Yes. There's only one email address missing out of that. That would be the pbudnick224 at gmail.com. I have included it in the emails in the past, but for some reason nobody really thinks that they have to enforce the laws of the United States.